It's a pretty good bet that you have Wi-Fi in your house. And this week there was a huge discovery about the security of Wi-Fi that affects more or less everybody. In here to discuss, we have Claire Riley from the technology website CNET and Ariel Bogle, who is the technology editor for The Conversation. Ariel, I'm terrified. What's happened?
So your Wi-Fi is insecure. It may not be being hacked right now. You don't use me enough. Why don't you like me? Exactly. So we all thought that WPA2 was the safe Wi-Fi. And this is short for Wi-Fi protected access to get technical with it.
Yeah, when you're logging on, you have an option of different kinds of security and there's WPA.
Yeah, and this was considered the sort of industry benchmark, the safest form of Wi-Fi protocols, and there'd been previous ones. Unfortunately, a Belgian researcher announced this week that he'd found a vulnerability within WPA2. And so to get a bit technical for a second, when you are using your computer and your Wi-Fi, for example, there's a four-way handshake between those devices to make sure that everyone has the right credentials, that there isn't like someone lurking on your network that shouldn't be there. And this hack that he uses basically gets one of the cryptographic messages to be replayed. It makes your Wi-Fi vulnerable, and then someone can read your unencrypted traffic. Short answer. I mean, it's much more complicated if you want to go read the crack website. That stands for Key Reinstallation Attack. I've been trying to remember that all week, but I just can't get it to stick in my head.
I would say the super short answer is hide your Wi-Fi, hide your kids.
Exactly.
But obviously it's...
Mostly I've been hiding my Wi-Fi from my kids.
Yes,
so
right.
This is a whole new paradigm that I have to encounter.
We're not all hacked, basically, because to do this maneuver, you have to be within range of the Wi-Fi. So someone's got to be like sitting outside your house with their computer, figuring it out.
I did think that guy was weird.
Such
just
a
hanging
creeper.
on my... Yeah.
And that's the thing, that's the difference to the really big ones we've seen, like Heartbleed, for example, which is that kind of server-based where you can sit in your hacker lair with your hoodie on and the matrix code behind you and just send stuff out via the interwebs. It's all about that, like that
being
proximity.
within range, yeah.
And unless you're going around war biking or whatever, which is kind of running around trying to find open Wi-Fi networks and destroying people's lives.
Is it really called war biking?
It's like you can go war driving if you're in a car, or war biking if you're on a bike.
That is the most incongruous combination of name and activity since naming them Apple geniuses.
Yeah.
There is no correlation. That sounds way cooler than it actually is.
Yeah. What was interesting was that everyone kind of responded, and this is pretty massive, but everyone's sort of thinking, oh gosh, I'm so exhausted. There's something else this week that I have to worry about. And even for us here in this room, the concept of cryptography for WPA2 is pretty top level stuff. And thinking about, hold on, someone can access the connection between my router and my computer. You're talking pretty like detailed levels there. And I think when people are already not able to secure their email accounts with a good password, that's the question around this, because unfortunately it affects every internet-connected device. So if you're at home on a network, you think, oh, just my computer and my phone. Well, probably your console, your Google Home, your fridge maybe, your washing machine, your router. Suddenly you have so many devices that are using your network, and you have to patch at the device. So you can patch at your router, but you have to patch every single device. Not all those patches are out yet. Apple is talking about bringing theirs out in the next couple of weeks. Google will bring one out for Android, but unfortunately it's not likely that a lot of the Android devices that are non-Google Pixel phones will get a patch immediately, because as we see with updates, it often comes to Pixel first or Google proprietary products, and then it trickles out into everything else. You've got a slightly older device, it's not supported. And then, what are you doing about your internet-connected toothbrush or your Wi-Fi connect? It's a nightmare.
Like, let's start the fight against internet-connected devices. Your fridge doesn't need to be online. Your washing machine does not either. I'm very willing for us to just walk all that back.
How about this? What's the dumbest internet-connected device you have? The thing that's like, why is this connected to the internet?
See, I think about it, and I hate the internet of...
Things.
I was going to call it the internet of S swear word, because there is a great Twitter account that is all about that. And it's like, why did someone hack an entire business system through their internet-connected coffee machine? That shouldn't be happening. I'd say the dumbest in my house... You know what, my Xbox is connected, but that allows me to control my TV with my voice. And I would use an internet connector or a Wi-Fi connected washing machine, because getting a ping or being able to just have my washing loaded at home and then just start a cycle now so that it's ready when I get home, that is like the future to me. So
I have a really dodgy online speaker that only works when you have a certain app and other people can't connect to it, and it always takes like an hour to sync with your phone. So I'm very willing to just dial that back and just use the old aux cord, to be honest.
Yeah.
Good old plug.
We have internet connected light bulbs at home. But
my
they're really
God.
good, and I can control them with my voice. And I don't want to give that up because I don't want to use my hands for stuff. My hands need to do other things. I need to
They're
be
very
like
tiny hands. Like actually
cooking or-
embarrassingly small.
Yeah, I know, it's crazy. I think the dumbest internet connected thing, though, I will put it out there, is Juicero.
That's collapsed. So.
I will never forgive Juicero for existing.
You probably need to explain to people what this
Juicero,
stupid thing
yep.
was. R.I.P.
Rip Juicero. It was a connected juicer that didn't actually juice and break down pulp. It took pre-existing fruit or pulp bags
Yeah.
that you laid between essentially just this flat press. You
Just squeeze them
hooked
out.
it in and it squeezed out bags
Should
of
be
juice
called the
from the
Squeezero.
bag. It was
or
like
the Constantero.
Or you could have just done it with your hands the whole time.
They
Which is what
called that-
people ended up doing.
They
they
isn't it?
called that
Approved.
juice hacking.
Oh my
No,
God.
I call it squeezing a bag.
Shut it down.
Yeah.
That is not. That's
Jeez,
just
okay.
squeezing a bag.
And you had to download a proprietary app and you had to connect your phone every time you wanted a glass of juice, and you had to scan a QR code on the juice bag to make sure that it was not.
Stop.
It was,
I don't want to
You are causing Ariel and I physical pain as you describe this stupid
I
product.
just never want anyone to forget it, because this is what happens when Silicon Valley is allowed to do its own thing.
And this absolutely speaks to the thing you were saying before we went down a Juicero K-hole, which is internet-connected devices. I feel like we possibly have gone a bit crazy. Yeah.
I would agree. And I just want, as Claire was saying, these kind of incidents are really, they feel high level. They confuse people. People don't know exactly what to do after they hear that Wi-Fi is hacked. Will never be secure again.
We're so part of the problem in that. But
I know.
anyway.
So
Well, there's lots of good explainers online about what to do. So.
But let's think about just basic sort of security hygiene that everybody can do. As soon as your phone gets an update, use it. Same for your laptop. Same for all your important devices. Don't buy things that connect to the internet that shouldn't. Fridges, washing machines, light bulbs. But also
She will
make sure
fight you
that
for
you're
that.
using websites that have HTTPS in the top corner, because this hack can only read traffic that's unencrypted. So if you're using websites that have that, we don't need to explain what it is, but just look for that HTTPS in the top corner and you'll be safer than you might otherwise be. Not foolproof, but safer. And then the same thing, you could use VPNs, which we've discussed on the show before too, to keep your traffic safe. Use things like Gmail, which are safer than other emails. Use encrypted chats like WhatsApp, which are safer than others. So just think about those basic things you can do, and don't, throw your laptop into a lake just yet.
All right, you can get all of this in the podcast edition of Download This Show. It is available on any good podcasting app, even some mediocre ones. Also ABC Listen, which is neither. It's the best of them all. I'm contractually obliged to say that. Goodbye.